Cheers! Welcome to Almost Rich, Almost Famous with Bets and Bridge. You guys, we have been up to a lot of crazy, exciting things lately. If you haven't been keeping up with us on social media, well, you're certainly missing out. Follow us on Instagram, almost famous, and on YouTube, subscribe, Almost Rich, Almost Famous, Twitter, ARAF _TLOD. Our most recent post is us with a very rich and famous, the baddest bitch, Diamond Princess, Trina.
Yes, so I know some people might not know who Trina is.
Doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't even make sense. I mean, Trina has always been my favorite female rapper. From Miami, like, she really started the whole, like, talking nasty movement. Like, she was, like always was just so out there with the stuff she talked about. And people always thought it was so crazy. And now we have Meg Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj all following in Trina's footsteps. Trina is a legend. We met her.
And there's a reason why she's called the baddest bitch. She celebrated 21 years of being the baddest bitch. That's also when her song, The Baddest Bitch, was released. So we're going to take a few steps back of how we met Trina, how we did an amazing interview with her, how we got backstage to her concert. It all started with a little trip to Atlanta.
So if you guys have been keeping up with us, you know that we went to, when was that?
I know, it was a while ago.
So Bridget and I went on a super random trip to Atlanta.
And we just have to preface this. So random people, like, they know we have a podcast. And they know that we're trying to be rich and famous. Like, if you guys didn't know, I mean, well, look at the title of our podcast. So people are great. Friends, acquaintances, whenever they see something that's like, oh, this will be great for Betsy and Bridget, they'll reach out to us, which is great. Sometimes it's media outlets that'll say, hey, we thought this would be great for your brand. And we never know what's going to happen. So we've just taken the approach, we'll just take every opportunity thrown at us and know that sometimes we're going to get there. It's going to be a bust. We're not going to meet anyone. Nothing's going to happen. And sometimes great things happen.
I mean, it's tough. You just said we take every opportunity. Like, now, you know, Joe Schmo from fucking Parma is going to invite us down to his Muni lot tailgate. We're not down for that. We're down for, like, real shit. Like, stuff that's like, well, like, if you come to LA, I might have something for you to do. Yeah. We never know what it is actually going to be, but I think the common theme is, like, you and I are pretty, like, free to do whatever we want. Don't have any kids.
Nope.
Sonny lets me do whatever I want to do. Yep. You don't have anybody to ask, so we're typically there.
Yes. So this Atlanta trip, now I know what it was. It's right after St. Patrick's Day. Duh.
Yeah.
So it's on St. Patrick's Day. Our teammate out of West Palm, Josh Cohen, he reaches out and says, oh my gosh, I see that Trina is going to be in Atlanta in like 2 days, celebrating 21 years of being the baddest bitch. Isn't Betsy obsessed with her? You guys should go. And at first, we're like, oh, it's a really quick turnaround. How are we going to get there? Our flight's going to be crazy expensive. Do we have access? It was like a lot.
No. That was me. I said all that. I said, well, where will we stay? How will we get there? And you're like, well, I'm going to throw some shit in a bag and we'll be there. Like, you committed to it because God knows you don't need a fucking plan.
Well, I know. Because I was thinking in my head, well, whatever. We'll just go to the event. We'll meet Trina and we'll figure the rest of it out.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, we have already done a whole travel episode, so you guys know how different we are in that sense. Betsy did leave the hotel up to me, which is why we ended up near an airport and not in downtown Atlanta. And Betsy wanted to kill me, and I'm like, but we got a great deal.
It was a great deal. But we spent $7 million on Ubers, so it wasn't actually that great of a deal.
So we get to this event. And again, we're like, Betsy's warning me, yes, we're considered media, but I'm telling you, it's going to be craziness. We're not going to be actually in a media blocked off section or anything like that. So I'm going in thinking the worst.
And so I'm going in thinking, knowing the kind of like situation this could be one of two things. It could be super fancy and amazing, but as you all know, I'm more of a pessimist. And I'm like, all right, Bridget, be prepared. This is going to be some hood shit. Like, we're going to walk in, like, who knows, it might be a weird empty warehouse with, like, a DJ. Yeah. Like, I have no idea, but that's what I'm envisioning.
And she kept telling me that's what it's going to be.
Like, I just wanted to warn you. I didn't want you to be like, what the fuck when we got there.
Right. So I walk up in these situations. Betsy is typically the strong one out of us two. Like, she doesn't take anyone's shit. She's the one that will yell at anyone for us. But when
great.
Well, it is. Like, if I'm like, Betsy, that person's being mean to me, she's like, where? Like, they're going to have to deal with me now. And in these situations, though, she rather just like stay in the background. Like, it's fine. Like,
yes.
Like if she walks by us and literally introduces herself to us, like then maybe we'll do an interview where I'm like, I'm gonna get in the front row of this media. I'm like, hey, let me get my B-roll. All right, yes. Trina, over here.
So
yes, it's Bridget, almost famous. How are you? Like that's like what I want to do. And so we both have to compromise with each other.
Yeah.
But no, we get there. There's this red carpet, all these photographers lined up. We walk up and like, hi, who are you with? And we're like, oh, we're with ESPN. I couldn't even get Cleveland out. Like, oh my God, ESPN ladies are here. All right, yep, take them in. We're like, what's going on? They had us set up in this media room with all these stickers. It says TMZ. It says BET. And then ESPN. I'm like, oh, that's us, Betsy.
Well, it is.
Us with our vlogging camera all ready to go to meet Trina.
Oh, well, and also, I think, like, you didn't even need to yell anyone's name because we were the only white people there. We Bridget.
Well, I know, but at this point, we hadn't even entered the actual event. This is just the media. We were already the only white people there. But I'm like, hey, it's fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine. And I would say that I'm, like, you are really, like, white person. I'm Italian, so I'm a little not white person. You are the only main white person there.
Okay, we're going to get there in a second. I'm a storyteller. I have other details to talk about. So we're in this media room, and we're interviewing all of these, like, up-and-coming artists, which is, like, fine. In my mind, this is great warm-up for when Trina enters. Totally. We feel comfortable.
Yes.
We've already gotten 30 other interviews out of the way. So we're waiting. And all of a sudden, the main event lady comes in. Trina will not be taking any individual interviews. However, we're going to do press conference style. She's going to be standing in the middle. You can raise your hand, ask questions. As you know, this is her party. She wants to enjoy it with her guests and her fans, so it's going to be quick, which I understood. So I knew in this point, all right, I'm going to be the one up there waving my hand. Trina, over here. So I'm prepared for it.
Because I knew that I was like, okay, great, our work is done. Let's head to the bar.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, we're staying here. So we did stay there. And then they say, Trina's going to be here in a little bit. She may just go straight to the party. And at that point, I'm like, all right, I guess we're just going to have to give it up. I've taken the L. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'll get good B-roll of the party. So then we walk into the party, and that's when I looked around and said, wow, yeah, I am sticking out like a sore thumb. Me and my lanky ass. White,
big, tall, goofy.
So I'm already,
like, hey guys, like your arms are like flailing.
So they're literally flailing because I have a camera in my hand. And I'm like,
holding it up above everyone because she's 7 feet taller than everyone, taking B-roll. Bets, this is B-roll. This is what you call B-roll.
And Betsy's like running away from me, like, I don't want to be associated with you.
I really did it.
And I'm like, Betsy, we just have to stand here. This is where she's going to be entering. And you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to go get a drink at the bar. It's fine.
Yeah, great. Leave me alone.
Meanwhile, as I'm watching Betsy walk away from me, the attention finally turns away from me because you can tell her looking at me like, who the hell is this freckled ass over here trying to take B-roll? And then they watch Betsy walk by. Every single dude's head, I think they all broke their necks. Like,
that's really nice.
They couldn't help themselves.
Yeah.
Around you. And I'm like, hey guys, it's me. And they're like, what? You two came together? Like, what?
I do really well with that crowd.
Yeah.
I do real well.
Well, you're wearing like this jean onesie, so of course.
Well, I mean, what were you wearing? I forget.
I was wearing like a short black dress. I thought people might like my legs, but apparently they're too white and too skinny for that. So I'm getting all the B-roll. Trina enters. I'm getting great footage. Footage.
But like, I just need everyone to I need to set this scene for people. Like, it was nonstop B-roll. Like, your arm had to be losing all, like, feeling because your arm was in the air literally the whole time. I'm like, Bridget, put the fucking camera down. Like, relax.
But I have to use my height when I need to use it. And so there were people in front of me, like, bending down on the ground, trying to get all their photos. So I'm like, well, I'll be behind you guys. It's fine. I got long enough arms that I'm still able to get the same shot you are, and I don't have to be down on my hands and knees. I can just put it up and put it down.
It's so shocking to me that you like to do that because I feel like you like to be the center of attention. And so, like, when somebody else says you want to get all the video, it's just shocking. Like, I feel like that's something you'd hate to do.
Well, I don't necessarily like it, but in my mind, okay, we came to Atlanta. The whole reason we're here is to be at this event, cover the event, talk to Trina. So in my mind, I'm not giving up that we didn't get the interview.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, if in my mind, Rob's going to edit this whole great video together,
Yeah.
so I better capture the entire scene, and then it's going to be us talking about it. It's going to be us with Trina. So that was happening in my mind. However, really we left with only B-roll.
Lots of it. Well, we left with a lot of B-roll and we left with a lot of stories. There were a bunch of crazy things that happened while we were there. It's very, and I don't know how to put this like lightly, but it was very C-list celeb situation.
Yeah,
right?
I would say that.
Yeah, like I watch Love and Hip Hop, but like most people don't watch Love and Hip Hop. So like if you watch Love and Hip Hop, I guess you don't, and you know Young Jock from. Go ahead, do it. You're annoying and I hate you. Just do it.
It's going down.
So this idiot comes up to me and she's like, Bets, did you see Young Jock is here? Listen to what I'm going to say to him. She thinks this is the most fucking original idea of all time. Like, no one's ever done this. Tell him.
Oh, so I really thought it was going to be like a very good way to open the door for us. So I'm just going to go up to him, tap him on the shoulder and say, yo, Young Jock, isn't tonight going down? And do the dance.
No, he would have said, it's not, and I wish you would please leave me alone.
I think he would have laughed.
You're a psycho.
I think he would have laughed. I think he would have been like, I knew you're different because look at you. You're very different compared to everyone else. But that was pretty good.
But, see, I totally disagree. Like, I think, like if I didn't know you and you said that to me, so, like if I didn't know you and I'm cordial, I'm a nice person, and so if you told me that joke, like, when you first told me that kid from Akron joke, I probably, like, awkwardly laughed because, like, I have to, like, I can't be a total asshole and be like, oh my God, you're so corny, you know? And like, I think sometimes, like, that's, like, people are like, like, they're not actually laughing. Your joke is stupid and corny, and especially Young Jock. I have to tell you, I'm sure that's the only thing people say to Young Jock, because that was the only hit he ever had.
That's not true. He's had other hits.
What?
Oh, I can't think right now.
Meanie.
Yeah,
that's only two.
Young Jock, I'm really sorry for my co-host. I understand you're going to be coming on our pod soon. So
I actually like Young Jock, by the way, but I'm just saying.
You know why Betsy likes Young Jock. So Betsy, actually, her response to me saying that, this is what I was going to say to Young Jock. Her response was, I swear to God, if you do that, I'm leaving your ass here. I'm not going to come back and get you. You can figure it out. You're not embarrassing us. Like, geez, she's very passionate about me not doing it's going down joke.
No. And you did it. Let's just tell everyone, like, it was fine. You never ended up doing it. I didn't do it. Cool.
I refrained.
Yeah.
So a lot of other things are happening. There's a really cool bar. They have the neon sign of the baddest bitch. There's all these drinks named after Trina songs. So we're having ourselves a time. So at one point, Betsy's feet are killing her. And she's like, I don't even know if I can do it anymore. Let's go to the bathroom. This might be it. So she goes to the bathroom. And I'm noticing, like, a lot of media people that, they're our friends at that point. I saw them from earlier. Yeah. And I'm like, what are they all doing around here? Maybe I should get the camera out just in case. So I'm just kind of, like, in that little crowd. So Betsy comes out of the bathroom, is annoyed that I'm, like, trying to get back in the media world.
Because I'm just like, okay, it's done. Like, our time will come.
So she's standing in the corner, literally. Okay, if you guys are watching on YouTube, which I hope you are, this is what her face looked like.
Like, was my, like, nose quivering like that?
Yeah, yes. It literally looked like she was about to bawl her eyes out, and she's having the worst time of her life.
I was.
And so I'm looking at her. I'm like, geez, she looks like she's in pain. And then all of a sudden, I look over, and there's Young Jock coming out of the bathroom. And he's looking at Betsy, and then he looks at me and says, hey. And I was like, hi, Young Jock. He was like, is your friend okay? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to go see him. I'm like, Betsy, get that look off your face. You look like you're miserable. Young Jock is now concerned about you and wanting to know if you're okay. And she's like, well, I'm not. What does he want to do about it? I'm like, well, I don't know. You won't let me do my it's going down joke, so I let the conversation go there. So I talk her into coming back in with me, though.
Yeah.
And so someone introduces us to another group that have a table. So we end up sitting with them. And at this point, I'm feeling like they're not into us. They're not really talking. There's a whole camera crew there doing Love and Hip Hop, the first episode of this season. They're filming. So when the camera crew came around, they're like, yeah, like cheersing each other. Camera crew leaves, they're back to like blah.
That kills me.
I know. So all these things we see on TV, you guys, they're probably not actually having fun.
It was actually really interesting to see because, again, I love reality shows. Like, I love The Housewives. I love all of that. But to see it actually go down in person.
I just did the arm movement for everyone that's not watching on camera.
I'm sure that's what everyone assumed you were probably doing. To see it in person is actually crazy because, like, you'll see, like at one point we looked up on the stage and there was, like, a scuffle going on, and then they stopped filming, and then it was, like, hugging it out. Like, it was just so scripted.
So staged.
Yeah, so staged.
Kind of bothers me,
yeah,
but...
me too, but whatever.
So we end up meeting this one guy, and Betsy's watching me, which I didn't realize Betsy was watching me have this conversation. And to my mind, I could tell he really wasn't enjoying me.
Yeah,
and so I'm like
wasn't.
trying extra hard. And then Betsy finally taps him on the leg and said, okay, so she has this thing where she really needs to win people over if she's getting the sense that you don't like her. So if she's annoying you, like, I can take her. And he just starts cracking up. He's like, what do you mean? No, I like her. I like both of you. You guys are great. But it's like, no, it's like okay if you don't. Like, but I'm just telling you, she's never going to leave you alone until she gets the satisfaction that, like, you like her.
And so then he like smiled a little bit. Bridget was like, yeah, see, I knew I'd loosen him up a little. And so at the end of the night, like I feel like a billion other things happened, but the only thing that you were so focused on was, I think we want him over. And that's what you always say. You're like, I think I want him over.
Yeah.
Like winning him over isn't getting us paid.
Winning him over sure paid off, though.
True. This is one situation where it totally paid off.
So all the time I had to put in to win this guy over, we find out very tied closely to not only Trina, but plenty of other rappers, plenty of other talent, entertainers out of Miami. So we keep up on social media. We follow each other. We leave Atlanta. Okay, we had a bunch of other fun the next couple of days. We just kind of went around. Chalked it up as, all right, we just had a fun Atlanta trip. It didn't end up being for work as we wanted it to. We don't have the amazing episode or interview with Trina like we wanted to, but we made the best of it.
Right, I agree. And I think this just goes to show, like, how we never know what any situation's going to be. But again, we don't have any ties. Like, we can go wherever we want.
Right.
Do whatever we want.
So, mind you, again, this is back in March.
Yep.
So fast forward, it's September now. Mind you, me and Betsy have taken a lot of other adventures in between. We went to Miami. We did meet up with some of the people that we met in Atlanta. But again, it's more of just like, hey, like, you're our friends now. Let's meet up. Didn't think much of it. So you tell it. It was up to you. So maybe you want him over more than I did, I guess. I don't know.
I think he's just like, I think he like thinks we're the same person, even though like you're 6'5" and I'm like 4'3". Yeah, so I don't know. He kind of thinks we're the same person, but it doesn't matter.
Classic mix up.
Yeah, classic. Somebody, by the way, Bridget and I were somewhere recently, and this guy, in an effort to try to talk to us, you wouldn't even fucking believe this shit. This guy says, hey, are you two sisters? Really? You motherfucker.
We didn't even answer. We just kept walking.
We just pretended like it didn't happen because it was like the dumbest thing of all time. Anyway, so he reaches out. He says, hey, I'm going to be in Youngstown, Ohio. Are you guys around? And we're like, yeah, but we're not around Youngstown. But like, I don't know. We can figure it out. He's like, you guys should drop everything you're doing. Come to meet me. Would love to see you. Great. Like, we didn't know what this was going to be. We were just up for a fun trip to Youngstown.
And me and you kind of switched spots in this sense. I'm like, Youngstown, Betsy. I'm like, we got the home opener tomorrow for the Browns. You know, I'm really focused on that. I'm like, I can't be tired. I can't be hungover. Yeah. And she's like, it's Youngstown. It's fine. Like, we can just go. Yeah. Like, why wouldn't we? And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I just hope that, like, something comes out of this. And so we pack our bags, well, just for the day, and we go to Youngstown, Ohio. And we get there. We get these all-exclusive passes. So we're behind the scenes, behind the stage, watching Twista, Mystical, all of these like old school rappers that we grew up with, and then all of a sudden Trina comes out, and our friend said, you guys sit right here. So we're literally on the stage, there's 3 rows, we are the front 2 seats, and Trina literally is like a foot away from us, walking by us to perform. So, if anything, I was happy with it.
Were you getting B-roll?
Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. Remember I took your phone?
Yeah, you took my phone. Yeah,
because Betsy has a better phone than me. I'm like, give it to me right now.
No, but your phone doesn't even receive phone calls.
Well, it's fine.
So, yeah, it's better.
I mean, I got a good deal on it, okay?
You did a great deal. Refurb. A nice refurbished phone.
So I'm getting all kinds of B-roll with Betsy's phone. It's working out great. So then, the concert is over, and it's like, okay, well, now what? And Betsy gets back in her mode of like, all right, Trina, she looks tired. I don't want to bug her. Let's just leave. I'm like, no. We did not drive to Youngstown, Ohio. Yes, it was great to sit on stage and get a behind-the-scenes look of Trina and all these amazing rappers. But no, we came here to get the interview. I'm going. So again, I'm following the posse. I'm following the crowd. And Betsy's like,
and I'm like 7 years behind her. Because again, I don't know why it is. I just don't want to be annoying to people. So I think people should spot us and be like, oh, hey, you guys. But I know it's not how it works. But
and I'm thinking like a famous person. Yeah. I'm like, listen, I know she's probably tired. Does she want to talk to any media? Does she want to take photos? No, but that's part of being a famous person.
Yeah.
So until I get there, I'm going to be the media person talking to the famous people to get advice on how to get to where they are.
You're good at it, too. You really are. Like, if it were up to me, I would have been back in my car on the way back to Cleveland.
I know.
God knows there's not shit happening in Youngstown.
Didn't let it happen, no. So we bypass all that. We end up in Trina's dressing room.
Yeah.
And again, Betsy's like, oh, God, I don't think we should be in here. I'm like, we were invited in. It's fine.
All right. Well, let's talk about the dressing room, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The dressing room has how many people? 7 people in there?
Probably.
Yeah. It's the size of like a bathroom stall.
Yeah. Well, again, it's Youngstown. I'm sure she has a better, luxurious dressing room in most places.
Totally. But I'm just trying to make the point that it was so tiny and like we were on top of each other. It's like if somebody had to come by us, we had to like move sideways so they could like get around us. It was a tight fucking squeeze. Yeah. And this bitch does not know us.
No,
by the way. Like, we know one person in this locker room, and it's not the one who really matters.
Locker room. Look at you talking sports over here.
God, can't get it off my mind. Love it.
It is. It's like her 2 main backup dancers. It's her choreographer. It's our friend / her manager. It's her makeup artist. Like her team, basically.
Yeah, yep.
And then me
us.
and Betsy.
Awkwardly. Literally. So fucking awkward. You know, Bridget's like smiling, like looking around like, hey, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. I'm like, oh my God, I want to die. I want to fucking kill myself.
I actually was, though.
Run out of this room.
I was asking the dancers questions.
Oh my God, it was so...
I'm talking to the choreographer. And
but again, like... I'm happy that you did it. But, like, if this didn't actually go down how it all ended up going down, I would have been like, Bridget, please, we can never do that again. It's so embarrassing.
But it was not embarrassing.
Okay.
So then, so Trina's, like, getting her makeup done. She was drinking 1942, which I love, because we both love tequila. So I'm thinking in my head, all right, well, this is the start of a beautiful friendship. Like, she drinks the same tequila as us, and we really like her music, and she likes to rap it, and maybe I'll get to rap with her one day. This is all going through my head.
Of course it is.
And then finally her manager says, okay, like, these ladies, this is Betsy and Bridget. They have a podcast, Almost Rich, Almost Famous. Like, Trina, can you just talk to them for a minute? I could see in Betsy's face, like, oh, God. Like, she hates us. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to do it. She sits in the chair, introduces herself, the coolest,
nicest,
most down-to-earth, laid-back person I've ever met.
I mean, she was lovely. She was really, really, really lovely. We did
It was not fake either.
It was not fake. She was actually super sweet and, like, into it. If that would have been me... See, this is why I'm going to be a shit famous person. Because, like, I don't want to talk to people. She was amazing because she did. She was cool with talking. Even if she didn't, we would have never been able to tell.
She was deserve amazing. An Oscar if she was not into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think she had probably taken a couple shots, and so she was like, great, fine.
Well, talk to whoever.
Yeah, totally.
But, I mean, she's been doing this for a minute.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
She's been doing this for so long. So it is shocking that she's not sick of it and is like, no, I'm beyond this. I'm not doing any more interviews. No, she gladly sat down with us. And I even asked her in the interview, like, people are fangirling over you 24/7, like, including me right now, because I just, like, want to hug you and kiss you because I can't believe I'm standing next to you. Like, do you hate that? She's like, no, I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, great, so you'd rather be famous. She's like, well, no, I would definitely take the money.
Right.
But she is meant to be rich and famous. She just did it really well.
So
if you guys missed that interview, again, Almost Rich _ Almost Famous on Instagram. Subscribe to YouTube. Almost Rich, Almost Famous. We have it up, but that's not the end of it.
So I was thinking that was the end of it, and I was like, all right, Bridget, we gotta go. Because, like, we're still standing around. There's no direction. Like, what if no one's offering us anything to drink? Like, it was just, like, kind of awkward. And I was like, okay, thanks, bye.
And I'm like, no one has kicked us out. Why are we leaving?
Yeah, that's what she said. And I was like, well, I'm kicking us out. We have to go. So we go back in the hallway, and all of a sudden our friend calls us back in. He's like, wait, guys, come back in here for a second. So we go back in, and he says, to Bridget, he says, you have to show Trina your Irish dancing.
And Trina goes, what's Irish dancing? And then her choreographer, her backup dancers, the whole room. Yeah, what's Irish dancing? I think they're fucking with me.
So Bridget's like river dance, Lord of the Dance. Michael Flatley. These people are like, yeah, no. And so literally Trina asked Bridget, she goes, so, like, do you guys, like, go to, like, a club and, like, dance like this together? Like...
Mind you, she's never seen it, so she doesn't get it. So she's like, are there Irish dance clubs? Like, do you do Irish dance battles?
Yeah.
I was like, no, but great idea.
Great idea. Like, she's like, okay, so, like, when you're here tonight listening to my music, are you like, Irish dancing?
And she's asking so genuinely.
No idea.
And I'm like, no. And then she goes, Betsy, so when you and Bridget go out in a club and people are, like, starting to dance battle, does she say, like, move out of the way? Like, I'm going to show you guys up in Irish dance. And Betsy's like, well, I'm sure she would love to do that, but no, it doesn't, like, typically happen. And so finally our friend's like, all right, can you just show her? He's like, what music? I'm like, all right, type in Trouble Reel to YouTube. We'll figure it out. So, of course, I get everyone clapping.
Yeah. Got the whole room really going, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
And so I bust out my Trouble Reel. A little freestyle, a little jump in the air, move my feet a little fast, end with a big bang.
And so, what, what was the end?
I mean, that's what I did to my legs.
What'd you do? Oh.
So
but also, if you've never seen her do this, it's so scary. She's smiling from ear to ear. Her arms are by her sides, literally, like glued to her sides, and she's smiling like a fucking weirdo. It's so, if you've never seen it before, like, I think that's what was so shocking to these people. Like, you know, I've seen it now a billion times. Most people have seen it or know what it is. Yeah. But if you've never seen it, imagine seeing somebody do that for the first time. Their hands are glued to their sides, and they're smiling like a fucking creep.
And their legs are going crazy.
Yes. It's just a bizarre experience. So, based on that whole thing, they're dying. Like, no one, like, they're, like, peeing their pants.
And I'm like, I don't know if you guys are laughing at me or with me.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And Trina ended it. She's like, I love it. Like, you hold on a minute. You cannot go anywhere. Like, that was the wildest shit I've ever seen. And we're like, okay. So I'm like looking at Betsy. I'm like, oh my God, I just Irish dance for Trina. And Betsy's like, yeah, what? I don't know what's happening. Me either, but it's fine. So Trina leaves to go into her bathroom. And she's in there for a couple minutes. We hear her talking to someone, but we don't know what.
She goes, I gotta call my friend.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
She comes back out, and she's on FaceTime. So she's looking at the phone, and she was like, yes, okay, so these girls, they have a podcast called Almost Rich, Almost Famous. Bridget, can you Irish dance for Missy? So, number one, my mind goes, oh my gosh, she remembered the name of our podcast. Amazing. Mm-hmm. Then she says, hey, Bridget. I'm like, wow, she remembered my name. And then she said, can you do that for Missy? I'm like, Missy, huh?
Mm-hmm. Missy.
Missy
Yeah.
Elliott.
Yeah. I mean, all that obnoxious B-roll that you were taking in Atlanta led to this moment.
I mean, see, that's why it happened to me, because I put in the B-roll work.
You
did. They let me have my moment.
You really did, and I appreciate that, because you got to Irish dance for Missy Elliott.
I did. So I redo it all, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I've officially made it in life. I just Irish danced for Missy Elliott and Trina. And, like, we walk out, and, like, my head's still exploding a little bit. I'm like, what? I mean, Trina gave us a hug. So nice to meet you girls. Like, at this point, I feel like we're friends.
Yeah, totally. Did you actually cry? Don't lie. Did you, shed an actual tear?
Yes. And even when I think about it to this day, it's still a little tear to the duck comes up. And I did. I'm like, all that money my mom spent in Irish dancing, it's all going to come to this moment.
Yeah.
Me dancing for Missy Elliott. Who knows? We're about to be in her music video.
This isn't the end.
No, it's not the end.
This is not.
Just the beginning. Missy Elliott likes weird kind of dancing.
Yeah,
and
totally.
By their look on their faces of shocking, like how shocked they were to see what I was doing.
Shocking.
I feel like
it is shocking.
It might just even be weird enough for Missy to put it in a St. Patrick's Day edition of one of her music videos. Who knows? So, I mean, I keep saying top 3 best nights of my life, and I don't know how we're going to top it, but I think we're going to top it soon.
Oh, we definitely are. I feel like we have a million more adventures to go on. One actually might be coming up.
Oh. Ooh, yes.
Yeah. So, again, stay tuned. This is one that, like, God knows what it's going to be. Could be nothing. Might never ever hear about it again. Or it could lead to something really cool.
Mm-hmm. So, since then, though, a lot of other weird things have happened.
It's true. I know. Like, a lot of not great things have been happening to us lately.
I know. And I'm like, was it because we got this beautiful gift of me Irish dancing for Missy Elliott and Trina?
Such a beautiful gift.
Yeah. Did, like, the universe start to think, like, maybe we've given them too much. Let's, like, bring them back down?
That's not actually how the universe works.
Well, I don't know how the universe works.
I'll tell you how the universe works. The universe works that if you do something shitty to somebody or, like, in life, bad stuff comes back to you.
I know, it's called karma.
It's called fucking karma, and I think, for me at least, I don't know, I must have done something not nice to somebody recently, because I'm getting a whole bunch of bad karma.
Tell
them. I mean, a lot. So, maybe, you know what? I'm just thinking of this. You know how I say, like, I will go to, like, the ends of the earth to ruin somebody's life?
Yes, if they do you wrong. Right. Or your friends wrong, or your family wrong.
Right. I think, like that's happening to me right now. I woke up this morning. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I wake up this morning and I have 100 emails in my inbox. Okay? I'm like, God, that seems weird. I wonder what that could be. Okay. Food stamp assistance, Retail Me Not, Royal Caribbean, Helpful Funds, Edu drivers, Ocean Spray. I'm in the fucking Ocean Spray fan club. Okay? I belong.
Is that like
There's
the
an
cranberry
Ocean
juice?
Spray fan club, and I belong to it now.
Is that like the cranberry juice?
It sure is.
Okay.
Somebody even signed me up for the, this is my favorite one, Sargento cheese fan club.
I mean, that kind of makes sense for you.
But I don't even like Sargento. I like the real shit. Sargento is not the real. If I was ever going to join a cheese fan club, it was not going to be fucking Sargento.
So what you're thinking is
Yes.
you did something bad to
Yes.
someone, and the way that they're going to get back at you is sign you up for all of these
Somebody
random mailing
signed
lists.
me up for every goddamn mailing list under the fucking universe.
Very creative.
If you think about it, it's such a great way to fuck with somebody.
Yeah.
Because then you have to go through and put them in junk, or then you have to go through and say, like, whatever. Unsubscribe. Somebody's fucking with me. I was driving along the street the other day, ran out of gas on the highway.
Which is unlike you because you are on top of things. You're the most organized person ever. So when you texted me, you ran out of gas. I'm like, did someone like suck the gas out of your car? Like,
Maybe.
I don't know.
No, they didn't. My light had been on. But like, I usually know how far I can go, and something weird was going on that day. Do you understand? I was on the highway. I was that poor person on the side of the highway, like standing outside on my phone, like calling 911, by the way.
No, you did not. No, you didn't. What is wrong with you? See, like sometimes I think like you're like the really smart, mature one out of the two of us, and I call you for advice. Like it would never cross my mind to be like, all right, I ran out of gas. Who's my first call? Duh, 911, emergency.
Wait, I wish they would release my 911 phone call. It was frantic. It was.
Oh my God, there was something wrong with you.
Hi, my name is Betsy. I am on the side of the road in a very dangerous spot. It was very dangerous. I was like, well, I don't know. I think somebody's going to hit me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, should I get out of the car? Should I stay in the car? Like, it is fucking frantic. I'm like on the verge of tears. The woman's like, okay, calm down. It was bad.
Betsy.
I know.
I'm like, it's one of those times where you feel embarrassed for someone else.
Yeah,
Like, that woman on the other side of the phone is probably like, oh, I got a crazy one on here. She's panicking. She ran out of gas. Like, meanwhile, people are calling for real emergencies, like they're dying or their house caught on fire.
So the 4 cops show up.
No.
Yep.
You know, I saw on your Instagram that a cop came. I'm like, that's
2
weird.
squad cars.
Were they like, this is silly for you to do?
So the guy gets out and he's like, I heard, the conversation between you and the dispatcher. You're actually not in a bad spot. It's totally fine. We're just going to get you some gas.
Do you have to like pay for that kind of stuff?
No, It's actually like, who knew? I had no idea. They called ODOT, who I don't know who that is, but they called ODOT, whoever these people in these trucks are. I think they're the ones that do the salt on the road typically, but they have nothing to do in the summer. I don't know. And so they filled my car up with gas. Do you believe it?
No, actually I can't. I can't believe this is the first I've heard this story.
Yeah.
Like, I saw it on your Instagram, you texted me about it, and you were like panicking.
So speaking of Instagram, God, as if that's not enough, I got hacked.
Same.
See, but this is the problem. We need to do something about this because we have very juicy conversations going on there. Like, I was thinking of unsending everything I've ever sent to you because if you really got hacked the other day, they have a lot of
that's
info.
why you were so concerned about it. Betsy has followed up a million times think what's going on now with your Instagram. I'm like, wow, she's really concerned. You were thinking about your damn self. You're like, we got conversations in there.
Lots of them. So what happened about your hacking?
Okay, it was very weird. So I am driving back to Green. I'm going to get a birthday dinner with my best friend from growing up. And I see my phone light up. And so I look down, but there was no text there. I'm like, oh, that's weird. So I'm like, well, maybe it was like, I have a new car. Like, did something like happen? And so when I opened my phone, the first thing that popped up was Instagram. So at this point, I'm at like a stoplight and I'm looking. And it says, we noticed suspicious activity on your account. We have logged you out. And I'm like, okay, weird. So then I'm sitting there. So I log back in, not allowing me. And I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. So then I go to our Almost Rich, Almost Famous account. So I type in my name. I'm not coming up.
I know.
So then I went to our photos. I'm like, well, here, I've tagged myself a million times in every photo of Betsy and I on our Almost Rich, Almost Famous Instagram. So I tap, it's Betsy bitches there, no Bridget. And I'm like, oh my God. So at this point, I'm like, Betsy, check your Instagram. Am I there? And she goes, oh, damn. And screenshots that I don't exist. Profile is gone. And immediately I'm like, man, no. I'm like, literally, I have memories on there that I don't have anywhere else.
That's what you're fucking thinking of?
Yes, I'm thinking of all the photos, all the videos from all over the years.
Oh.
What? You're thinking of, like, conversations.
I am thinking of... Do you know the things that we have said on there could literally ruin ours and, like, everyone else's lives?
Yeah.
And you're thinking of a memory
Yeah.
that you took of, like, yourself Irish dancing
Yeah.
from fucking 2010. You loved that outfit, and that was the best jig you ever did. That's what you're fucking thinking about? You're a weirdo.
Well, that was my first thought. My second thought was, God, if I have to create a new Instagram, like, it's going to take me so long to build up my following again. That was my second thought. Then the third thought was, oh, shoot, what if someone actually got into my Instagram? Wonder if they read my messages. That was the third thought.
That is the craziest shit I've ever heard. You want to know? I had this random thought today. Just a very random thought. I was like, God, if something happened to me and I died, I have to assign somebody to go through my phone and get rid of messages. Like,
well, I wouldn't be here anymore, so who cares?
Well, me. I don't want everyone to know my business after I'm dead. I want them to speak nicely of me.
Oh, are you saying mean things in there?
I mean, sometimes. What do you mean? You're saying mean things too.
Oh, you mean like our conversations? Like
Our
making fun of people,
conversations, my conversations with Sunny, with my sisters. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We are very different
We
people.
are very different.
My God, the memories.
I did.
Fucking worried about the goddamn memories.
So I am. I'm worried about the memories and my followers, honestly. Those are my two, pride and joy. So then I'm like, well, maybe I'll try from my Safari. So I go in, type in Instagram login. So I type in my username, I type in my password, and it says, sorry, we cannot let you log in. And I'm like, what? So then I do it again. It says, sorry, this account doesn't exist. And that's when I'm like, oh no. Oh my God. The account doesn't exist. And then Betsy texts me and says, oh, you're back up. I'm like, wait, huh? I just tried from Safari and it said no, like I still can't. And then I open my app and magically it's there again.
Well, it wasn't, I didn't say it in that tone of voice. I said, you're back up. Like, figure out what's going on. Change your password. Make it harder. Like, delete my conversation. Like, I am very concerned. Something weird's been going on. I think somebody put a spell on us. And I, for one, am not interested in that. I have a tattoo, an evil eye tattoo. I wear my Italian horn. I want nothing to do with any of that funny business.
You think someone put a spell on us? Did you really just say that?
Yeah.
Oh, like there's just random witches walking around Cleveland and it's like,
you don't have to be
those
a
two,
witch.
not like, bazing, I'm gonna fuck with them for the next.
That's not how it works.
Abracadabra.
That's not how that works.
Twist the bones and bend the back. Like that.
That's not how that works. It's a real thing. I used to do it to people.
Like this. Well, Betsy, like, that was pretty good.
I'm trying to talk to you about something serious.
But it's not.
And you're reciting, like, song lines from
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Well, Betsy, I don't think that the people are actually putting spells.
Okay, do you understand? Like, do you think that all of these people for thousands and thousands and thousands of years just made up this thing about the evil eye? Like that's why people wear it. It's to ward off. Like, maybe, you know what? You're such an asshole. I'm thinking about how many people hate you, like girls who are like jealous of you, or I know I had to save myself when I said that. Like people who don't like you and they're like, oh, she's the worst. Like, she's not like doing anything. But that is like putting out into the universe like tons of bad vibes.
Oh.
And that's why people like wear the evil eye symbol, or like to ward off those bad
things.
Yes, it's a real thing. I have done this to people.
So you think someone is doing it to us right now,
Yes.
and they're somehow are successful, even though you have an evil eye and a horn?
Yeah, but I think maybe you're the one bringing in the bad shit because you're just like, well, it's fake. It doesn't matter.
Well, I've got a full tank of gas.
Somebody hacked you though.
My email is pretty situated.
You know, I really think that we should get like. Do you want to do a Halloween episode and like put spells on people?
I mean, you're gonna have to teach me how to be a witch.
I have a cauldron.
Oh my God.
One time I went.
You're just so weird.
I went to
Thank
Salem.
God you like me. Jeez, you'd be putting all these weird spells on me.
No, I only do stuff like that to people who have like done something really bad to me.
Okay.
And like voodoo dolls, like I like all that stuff. Let's like do that. Not voodoo. I don't want to kill anybody, but like I want to try to put spells on people, or at least take the Malokia off us.
All right. God, went from Irish dancing from Missy Elliott to apparently we're about to put some spells on people. So stay tuned for that.
Wait, who? Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. If you have to put a spell on one person, who's it going to be? Is it going to be like a love spell? Is it? It's going to be like a
No, you
famous
can't do that.
spell.
Yeah, you can't do love spells because it's not
Yeah, you
real.
can. Yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, but then like, I mean, it just takes me back to the Little Mermaid. When,
well, that's not real.
But she put a spell on it. But it wasn't like real love. And then as soon as the spell was over, it's like, oh, I don't actually love you. It was just I was hypnotized.
But then somehow they end up like being together anyway.
No, they didn't.
They didn't.
No, remember
Who was it between?
Remember Ursula? She'd made herself into the pretty girl. and put the spell on Eric.
Okay,
and
well,
then when he
whatever. That's
snapped
not
out
how
of
it works in real
Ariel.
life.
Well, I don't think any of this is real life.
That's where you're fucking us.
I mean, I'd rather put like a spell on like people that have like been mean to me, which I probably shouldn't do, but
yes, you should. I'm gonna take you to a witch store.
Okay, I didn't know those existed, but maybe we should just go to Salem.
I love Salem, Massachusetts.
You been?
Yeah, that's when I became a witch.
Oh.
Or that's when my inner witch came out. That's when I got the cauldron and started doing the spells.
Oh. Come little children.
You need to know something beyond fucking hocus pocus. So stay tuned for our Halloween episode where I'm going to show Bridget how to do real witchcraft.
Cheers.
Cheers.